What I'm going to cook today is a giant chocolate chip cookie requested by Jack Allen. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees, gas mark 4. To make this cookie you will need half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 115 grams of soft butter. It's important that it's soft because then it will cream better. An egg, 170 grams of plain flour. It's important that it's plain. 50 grams of caster sugar, 110 grams of dark brown sugar. This is important that you use both of them. Half a teaspoon of vanilla essence, a pinch of salt, and of course chocolate chips. Cream both sugars in the bowl with the butter until the mixture is light and creamy. This butter has been left to soften so it's easier to beat in, because if it's hard then it'll just be like it'll just stay in a separate bowl. Beat together an egg and then add together the half a teaspoon of vanilla essence. So beat this egg, add half a teaspoon of vanilla essence to the egg. Actually, beat the egg and vanilla mixture into this sugar mixture, stirring every time until it, and as you'll see, it gets creamier and easier to stir. Don't worry if it's looking too runny, because we're going to add the flour in a minute. So, because now it's quite runny, you can afford to beat it until it's like a paste. Okay, and now when it starts to look like this, you can add your flour. That was pre-measured 170 grams. Fold it in so the flour doesn't go everywhere. And once this has been coated with flour and it's starting to take a bit more of form, that's when you can start stirring it a little bit more vigorously. As you can see, the flour is starting to get absorbed into this mixture, so you can stir it faster and it stops going. So that's getting a little bit difficult to stir. Now add half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, and the pinch of salt. Pinch of salt, and stir that in. It is quite awkward to stir, but just keep stirring it anyway, because this is how it should be, quite thick, like a dough. So now it's getting like this. You can add your chocolate chips. You can add as much or as little as you like. I'm not going to add too much, because then it will be far too, like, there'll just be far too many chocolate chips in it, and it'll just melt out everywhere. Okay, this is grease-proof paper, but I've just added a little bit of butter to it to make sure that it doesn't stick. Just get the whole of the dough, and just put a big dollop in the middle. Try to make it so it falls onto the paper itself. Don't try and push it down onto the dough because onto the paper, because then it'll just bring the paper back up with it. This is looking quite like rounded on top, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to spread it out a little bit, and also it will spread out quite a bit in the oven. So spread out your dough till it's about so it's relative cookie size. Bake in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. Some ovens cook faster than others. Cook it until it is golden brown. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in the oven. This has actually been in the oven for around 35 minutes. As you can see, it's expanded quite a lot, and it's gone brown. It should be like fairly firm to the touch, but it still should be quite spongy. Leave this to cool and it should go quite... Okay, so there you go, Jack. There is your giant cookie. To get this perfect round shape, I've used an oversized cookie cutter. Personally, I got this as part of a set in Poundland, but if you don't have one of those, you could use a basin, or if your cutting skills are good enough, you could just use a knife to cut around it. Another idea that you could do is, if you're doing this for like a birthday or something, as like a side to the actual cake, you could get some writing icing and just write, you know, happy birthday on it. If you've been watching along and making this, thank you for watching, and I'm glad you found this video helpful, and I hope you enjoy the cookie that you made. Thank you.